Hello there, and it's great to be back on the show. Well, after some time out, but thank God we are all back and we're talking business again today. Well, let's start with the big story that says the Central Bank of Nigeria says the nation's external reserves has risen to $46 billion. This indicates that the reserves grew by about $3.2 billion between February and March 2018. Confirming the figures, the CBN Acting Director Corporate Communications Department, Isaac Okorafor, attributed the continued accretion to the country's reserves to the bank's efforts at vigorously discouraging unnecessary importation and reducing the country's import bills. According to him, the bank's interventions in the foreign exchange window has also helped to moderate the pressure on forex reserves by sustaining liquidity in the market and boosting production and trade. International Finance Corporation, IFC, a member of the World Bank Group, has signed a cooperation agreement with the government of Nigeria to invest $52 million in the livestock sector. Practice manager for the World Bank Group Finance, Alejandro Alvarez de la Campa, says dairy and poultry are important livestock sectors that contribute significantly to agribusiness, a key growth sector in the country. The 4-year initiative is funded by the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation and was endorsed by Nigeria's Federal Ministry of Agriculture, NAFDAC, the Nigerian Institute of Animal Science, amongst others. Nigeria is one of the 3 African countries to benefit from the World Bank's group's livestock and micro reforms in the agribusiness program. The new land use charge recently introduced by the Lagos State government has continued to generate diverse reactions from private sector players and the generality of citizens. Now, speakers at a forum organized by the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry, the forum brought together government and key stakeholders, saying that there is need for a review of the new property tax law. Well, they added that the assessed value of properties is generally on the high side and difficult to justify.
Well, Lagos State, they have infrastructure deficit, so they want to cover it. In principle, that is okay. The second thing is Lagos State wants to leverage on global best practices, which in principle is also okay. Now, there is no way a responsible government overnight will pass a law and within 2 to 3 weeks expect people to pay 5 times 600%. I think that's absurd. If mistakes have been done in the past, it's not in this time when there's recession. It's not in this time when there are a lot of vacant properties. And it's not in this time where you even have a lot of tenants who cannot even eat, not to talk of paying rent.
I am saying that this law should be put on hold, should be suspended for now. Let us have wider consultation. Let people tell you their grievances. If you notice, so many people left this hall because they are not answering questions that people are asking. You should be able to answer their questions. These are my fear. This money I am paying to you. The previous one I've paid. What are you doing about it? I'll give you an example. A client of mine paid 1.557 million naira last year for land use charge. His property was valued as 300 and something million naira. Now, as of this year, as we speak, the property is valued at 1.36 billion naira. He's asked to pay 10 point something million naira as land use charge. From where? And these people, they took facilities from bank to build this place. They are still paying the rent to the owner of the property. They are still paying banks.
While the president of the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry says they will ensure the government and stakeholders reach a medium ground, Lagos State government says it is open to dialogue.
Quite clearly, we all know and we agree that if a rate has been fixed since 2001, it's due for review at this time. So we would, with that open mind, we'll go there, we'll look at those figures that he had presented, and try and verify them and discuss with government. Akinwumi Ambode is a very credible gentleman that I believe will keep to his word, and we'll find a way around it. We did in 2001, 2002, and we'll still do the same.
We're listening governments. The rates we've explained and will continue to explain. That using rates and using percentages may be misleading and in fact can mislead. However, where genuine concerns are there, we are ready to engage, and the feedbacks are the thing that we have now.
The war against adulteration of petroleum products and illegal operations at oil and gas facilities has continued to wax stronger. In Lagos, a combined team of the Department of Petroleum Resources and the Nigerian Civil Securities and Civil Defense Corps sealed an oil and gas facility for allegedly engaging in economic sabotage. Well, we have details in this report.
This facility has a permit for road haulage of petroleum products issued by the Department of Petroleum Resources. But the regulators who are here on the spot assessment say the operator has gone beyond approved limits. Officials of the DPR, in collaboration with men of the NSCDC, say the owner of this facility has been transshipping and storing products, a process that exposes products to adulteration.
We are here because this gentleman here, we received information and we've been monitoring him for quite a while. We discovered that he's doing an illegal business here. He's blending here, he's transloading here, he's storing here, and he does not have a license to do that. And before we issue such licenses, there are certain parameters for him to fulfill: safety, health and environment, and other measures. And we discovered that he has not fulfilled any of this. So the guy is operating illegally. That's why we are here.
There are rules and regulations. There are process and procedure for any business kind of transaction you want to do. And definitely the gentleman in question here is operating beyond what is allowed, what is permitted. And definitely you have to face the music. The starting point is, as you rightly said, this place is now under sale. And there's no way anybody can unseal this place except DPR. And we are working in conjunction with them 24/7.
The chairman of the facility states his own side of the story.
DPR said that they give us to operate this, but they say it do not allow us to store. Okay, but we are not storing. Only when we load the product from the depot, when the trailer land outside, when we are receiving, so we have to put it in this our storage. Then before we not transload it to our peddlers that is used to distribute our product. That is how we operate. So those people come today, they say that the license that they give us, it did not cover us to do that. And for that reason, they are going to seal the place.
The DPR boss reacted to some of the issues raised.
When we allow this type of facilities to exist, they buy from the depot, they bring it to see this type of facilities, they adulterate, and they sell to the public. I don't need to tell you the consequences of that to your engines.
Officials of the Petroleum Resources Agency and other relevant security agencies say they are ready to enforce the rules and regulations set for any form of business transaction in the oil and gas industry.
Moving to the power sector, the Chief Executive Officer of Eco Electricity Distribution PLC says making electricity available to its teeming consumers is one of its cardinal objectives. Well, I had an exclusive and extensive interview with the Chief Executive Officer in person of Engineer Adeoye Fadeyebi. Now, he gave an overview of activities across the electricity market.
The KPI set have been very clear, so the mandate by the board has been very clear. It's revolved around the same things that a disco business would look at. It's really around reducing your ATC and C losses, right? Technical, commercial, and collection losses. Customer satisfaction, so where you start to see a lot of things that will reflect around your response rates. Having your billing and collection efficiencies, being right. Being able to invest within strategic areas within the network to ensure that we increase the frequency of supply and the quality of supply. And then, around our people, ensuring that we have the right people in the right roles. And then ensuring that we cover our own risk, which is around, again, a lot of collection losses. What do we have around, energy theft, bypasses. And at the end of the day, it's really to just ensure those KPIs are clear and set. The board mandate is clear and set. The industry mandate is clear and set. As you know, it's a regulated market. I've just then put my head down and get to work with and we have really good people, and it's really about working with them to ensure we meet or exceed this target. We're quite excited, as you would imagine, at being rated #1 disco in the country. the parameters, like you well asked, are clear. There's a lot of things, a few parameters that are put in. You know, so you talk about the remittances, you talk about you talk about safety. You talk about matters around the metering progress. So there's a number of things they have in terms of the rollouts. So all those parameters then put together, then an aggregate, and then you come out as number one. Disco in the country at the end of that. We're delighted to have been rated as that. However, we choose to very, very briefly stay occupied in the new achievement, but rather just to focus on trying to exceed any of those achievements that made us get there, or any of those parameters we had exceeded that made us get there. We plan to fully exceed them.
Well, the issue of energy theft and bypassing and all of that has become an issue that electricity distribution companies say they have to contend with, particularly at this time when they say they're not even breaking even. Well, the CEO spoke so much on this issue. Let's listen to him.
You see things like ATC and C losses hitting, 35% upwards, like you had at the sometimes even in the 40s, like you had prior to takeover or prior to privatization of this industry. It's concerning, but as you start to clean up, as you start to meter, it's one thing, but you have a lot of behavioral risks. So metering in itself, even smart metering in itself, does not all the way, or does not 100%, how do you put it, eliminate behavioral issues, eliminate legacy issues around how people think about electricity, or the units of electricity, or the quantum of electricity as a social responsibility, as opposed to a utility that's no different from your telephone or water or anything that you use. Once we start to, and a lot of that is inherited, a lot of that is adopted over the years, a lot of that is in our, to be honest, it feels like part of a tradition. But as businesses come, one of the things businesses do is businesses have to stay profitable so that businesses can service you better, so that then there's a mutual relationship that's beneficial to everyone. So I think what we've seen in this area is, one, a lot of improvements. I mean, as you know, ECO, we've spent a lot of time in partnership with a lot of our partners, with Tata, with our investment partners, owners at WPG, with also around USAID and some of the support. We've come together and really spent a lot of time on trying to through the means of audits, right, identify where we're seeing a lot of this. So one is you can audit, but it's a large network. So you audit, you find, we've prosecuted on a number of occasions. I'm sure you heard about a number of those. ECO has taken it extremely seriously. We would not, the chairman's mandates and the chairman and board's mandates for this company was very clear when I came in. There will be zero tolerance for bypass. There will be zero tolerance for energy theft. I'm very clear on what I need to do. I think we've had about 12 or 14 cases I need to check of actual prosecutions that we took to the end, our legal team took. And I believe there were actual, I don't want to call it penalties or judgments passed. And I believe these were executed. I'm not too sure you want to be in jail for the purpose of stealing electricity. I think there's too many other reasons you want to be in jail for. So to that extent, the point I'll make there is that ECO Distribution as a company is focused on ensuring we try to eliminate energy theft. We try to eliminate issues of bypass. Because at the end of the day, it makes it, so you complaints about estimated billing and all those things, it makes it more difficult. Because other people end up paying for the things that have been missed. So what I would say is we're coming out. We've started already I think we started end of January, and it's going to continue. And the idea is that without letting out too much information, there's a massive energy audit drive that has been approved by the board and it's about a month now into implementation, and it's going to go on for the rest of the year. One of the most important duties of our customer service people is to ensure that we're very upfront with our customers, we have a peculiar position because we are also our own customers. So I think it's very important that whatever information we're giving is accurate. We are a regulated market. We stay within the confines of what we call a meter rollout plan. A lot of people come with requests. You know, they want their meter and they want it now. Everybody wants their meters and wants it now. I have total empathy and understanding for what it is that they're going through. I mean, you're ready for a meter and you want it now. We're guided. We're under, you know, the meter rollout plan, and we are following that plan. What I promised the public is that we want to ensure that we move very quickly with all obligations as we need to. And as you said, I'm sure I've seen comments here and there, and again, we don't want to spend too much time getting absorbed into the compliments that we're getting. But I've heard a lot of, I'm encouraged by a lot of things I'm hearing around the response time of ECO now. Just so you know, we're reinforcing, or at least going ahead to, I don't want to use the word refurbish, but we're going ahead to improve upon our customer care in terms of its not just his ability to respond quickly, but his ability to respond with very good information and ability to have a lot of the technical backing to be able to get you answers quickly.
Well, indeed, Engineer Fadi, you could just go on and on with issues surrounding the power sector. But let's take this break now, and we'll be back with more on the show. Stay with us. It's Still Business Nigeria. Thank you for staying with us. Now, the need to create an enabling business environment for widows and their children to enable them meet up with their daily needs, well, has again been brought to the fore. A non-governmental organization focused on creating new lives for widows and children and less privileged, Felix King Foundation, put together this gathering to show love to this set of people. They want well-meaning Nigerians and others to support the plight of widows and also help to enact laws that will help protect widows from maltreatment and abuse of fundamental human rights.
God has touched somebody like him to help widows and their children. Mr. Felix King's Foundation, who is taking care of them and their children. They are giving gifts, they feed them well. They are all having good meals, and you can see the cheerfulness in their faces. The children, they are happy. It goes to show that they should take heart. God is with them.
January 26 this year, making 17 years. When my husband dies, I've never seen any joyful like this. Somebody take me out, feed me, give me food.
Since when my husband died, I never see who call me with such occasion. But by the grace of God, today, God has done it. I say may his name be glorified. And the person that are giving all this one, God will continue to bless him.
King has given me money and give me this huge of gifts and take me out today, give me food, give me assorted foods, not even food.
Oh, now from there we cross straight to the stock market, where TVC News business editor Effiong Ekop is live, standing by to bring us up to speed. Hello, Ekop, take it away.
To you, Tolu. The market closed in the negative territory. We saw stock prices down because investors were being very, very cautious in picking equities from companies. And in the end, the market closed 0.26% in red. I have here a stockbroker, Dele Sanusi from Camry Securities, who traded on the floor. Sanusi, welcome.
Thank you.
Today is Monday, and the markets didn't, show the upbeat as we used to know. Okay. And you closed lower in the reddish territory. How did it happen? Why?
What I can say concerning that one, that people are somehow careful, and I mean to take position because we are in the earning period, and the result has started coming out. So they are careful to take position.
When you talk about earning period results coming in, that reminds me of what Zenith Bank has sent into the markets.
Yes, like today, the result of Zenith was high, and the result is okay. So we look at, the revenue increased by about 46%. The profit after tax will increase about 37.2%, while the dividend increased by about 33.7% because now they are declaring 2.70 naira compared to 202, which they declared last year.
So, in all of this, what does it really mean to investors who put their money into that particular
Yes, fine. For the investor that love collecting dividend, they'll be very happy because based on the expectation that maybe they will not declare or the dividend will be low, now coming out and now be performing better than what people are expecting, then I believe the investor will be very, very happy.
Okay, let's go to the trading floor where Regency Alliance operating in the insurance market was the heaviest price loser by more than 6%. Regency, for some time, we've seen it in the activity charts. What is happening at Regency?
If you look at the new pricing methodology that we are pushing, that the price of a stock can go below 50 kobo. Many investors, they have been holding the stock and maybe they want to get out, and so this is a kind of opportunity for them to just.
So many of them are getting out of Regency.
Yes.
But is it that vibrant, on the trading floor?
Yes. Are they like today now? With what I can see, very soon we are going to see turnaround because as they are trading it, selling it, that there are buyers. There are buyers that are really buying these stocks.
Diamond Bank left the trading floor with a basket of losses. Why?
I cannot, at least maybe because of the expectation also, as I said, of the investor. Maybe they are trying to reposition themselves in another security.
When are we going to see results from Diamond Bank in the market?
I cannot really see that one, but very soon we know that they have a stipulated time which they must comply with.
Okay, do you have something to say about another middle-level bank, Unity Bank?
No. I don't really have nothing to say about this one.
What about UBA, which was also a loser?
I'll tell you something. As I've said, that the investor, they are somehow careful, and because we are in any period, and for a rational investor, you look at it before.
So this is not the good time for the banks, considering what the CBN is also.
No, it depends. No. You cannot say emphatically that. Not like case of what Zenny Bank trying to prove people wrong now, okay. And people are they are declaring 2.70 kobo compared to 202 last year, which is about 33%, and that is fantastic.
Okay, Dele, let's leave it there. Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you.
Dele Sanusi, a stock trader with Camry Securities. Back to you in the studio.
Well, up there, the market closed on the negative flank, and with all of the hopes, many investors are shifting focus to government bonds. Let's see how it plays up during the week. But before we let you go, the Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Ibe Kachuku, joined other major players in the oil and gas sector to tour the ongoing construction of an integration of indigenous fabrication yard that will promote local content in the sector. The minister promised government support and patronage for Kaztech Engineering, which hopes that the fabrication yard will build capacity and create skilled jobs for Nigerians. The facility, when completed, will be for fabricating, drilling, and production platforms, as well as specialized structure in the oil and gas sector.
We integrate into the oil industry so that the whole work that the local content people are doing and the whole federal government is doing is crystallized because unless we get these jobs back home, we can produce all the barrels in the world that we want. But if we're not attracting jobs at home, not attracting engineering and development, it's not going to yield any fruit. And I'm impressed by what I see. It's a huge amount of investment, still a long way to go. But nobody's going to keep investing money unless they get patronage. And the whole idea was to call, the reason why I did this tour, coming with all the oil companies, all the parastatals and MPC, everybody, is to draw attention to the fact that there is a low-hanging fruit here that we could all develop, create jobs. You saw the presentation, capacity for jobs between 2,000 and 3,000 people. Acreage development is...
Well, it's before we go, crude oil prices trade mix at the international market this Monday. That's following low demands by major factories in China. At the London market, Brent crude trades high at $65 per barrel. For the OPEC basket, price drops to $61 per barrel. Well, that's it on the show today. Thank you very much for watching. We'll be back tomorrow, same time, God willing. I'm Tolu Lokwe Ogunjobi. Thank you for watching.